People in Sacramento are within driving distance of two historic forts. The first fort is Sutter's Fort, located in Sacramento, and about 2 hours away is Fort Point in San Francisco. Sutter's Fort was built in 1839 by John Sutter, who was a Swiss settler. He was made a captain in the Mexican army and was given land to establish a settlement in the area.
He never had any problems, never really needed any walls, but in order to get folks to come to his fort, he put up walls. This not only gave a sense of destination as well as security for folks that came to Sutter's Fort, but it also gave him a place to lock his things up at night. So think of this as the first mall of California, and all the different places that you see around the fort are businesses.
Sutter's Fort was near the end of the Siskiyou and California trails, and it served as a waypoint. The pioneers were impressed when they saw cannons at Sutter's Fort.
Cannons came from all over the world. Some of them were Spanish, some of them were from Italy, and a lot of them he got off of ships and other captains. The one that's in the West Yard, though, the Russian cannon, actually fought against Napoleon's, it's a reproduction of a cannon that fought against Napoleon's army. And after the war, the Russians sold those cannons, and the Russian-American company was stationed or headquartered at Fort Sitka. And when they made the decision to come down into California in 1812 to open up Fort Ross, they brought 4 of those with them. And when Sutter bought Fort Ross, he obtained that cannon. So it was the only field piece in California at that time. All the other cannons that you would have seen in California were either mounted on the backs of wagons or on shipboard carriages.
The discovery of gold at Sutter's Mill led to the end of Sutter's Fort.
Sutter owned the fort until 1850, but the fort was unable to continue because all of his workers decided to leave the fort and go seek their fortune during the gold rush.
Fort Point is located underneath the Golden Gate Bridge. It was made to defend against hostile warships.
Well, Fort Point was originally designed as a triangular defense system in the Pacific area here. We have Fort Point here. We also have Alcatraz as a fort before it became a prison, and also Fort Baker directly across the bridge from us, and it was a triangle defense. This is part of the third system fort, so you'll see it a lot on the East Bay.
And it was built to defend the bay from any invading forces that would want to come in and steal the wealth we were finding during the gold rush. So they started building this wonderful structure in 1853, finished 8 short years later on time and on budget. In 1861, just a few weeks before our sister fort and the fort that we're modeled after, Fort Sumter, had a battle. And it was a battle that started a war, and that was the Civil War.
The fort itself have about 3 levels. First floor was the gunpowder room, and then the second floor is the officers, commissioned officers' rooms, and the third floor is the non-commissioned officers or the privates' barracks. The fort itself has a lot of history. In the local area itself, it was used during Civil War, and it was used throughout the different time periods, like during World War II, they used this as a base for the anti-submarine nets out here. They also used it as a staging ground when they were building the Golden Gate Bridge. So this fort is a little bit more than 150 years old now, and it's definitely part of the local community.
If you enjoy history, going to Sutter's Fort or Fort Point is great fun.